Hello guys, I welcome you all again to my channel where we discuss career growth, international opportunities, scholarship abroad, immigration, travels, interview tips and things that relate to that. If this is the first time you're coming across my channel, please do well to click on the like button for this video and the subscribe button if you are watching on YouTube, and if you're watching on Facebook, click on the follow button and like the video. What that does is it allows the algorithm to favor this video. It's allow YouTube and Facebook to carry the video to other people. We are talking about your offer letter. What should be in your offer letter? Basically, there are two types of offer letter: the conditional offer letter and the non-conditional offer letter. A lot of people, job applicants, people who are actually looking for job, do not pay attention to some of these things. Your offer letter is actually a key document or a legal document that clearly states the legal binding between yourself and your employer. It tells more about your contracts, what you're employed to do, what your job descriptions are, if your job is a part-time or a full-time. All these things are actually stated in your offer letter. So we want to just quickly look at what you should have in your offer letter. Especially in Nigeria, where I know a lot of people get into employment without having an offer letter. This is actually not a good one. There are so many organizations that do that. Sometimes they are doing it with intention of reaping the employee, and sometimes they are doing it because a lot of people do not actually know their rights. So these are about 10 items that you must have in your offer letter for them to be valid. The very first one is your address, your title, your address, your name. On the right hand corner of your offer letter, the offer letter should carry your name well written. It should have your address. The offer letter should be addressed to you. So this is important, because if you have another person's name on your offer letter, or your address is not well stated, so if you have any reason to go on a court case with the organization, or you have any reason to seek for redress, then you might actually be at loss, because your offer letter is not addressed to you. Your offer letter is not carrying your name, it's not carrying your proper title and all that. So this is actually important. So it has to carry your address, it has to carry the address of the organization and the name of the organization, all well written. This is important. Number two, the position, stroke title of your job. So if you have gone through the recruitment process, you've passed your interview, you've put in for a job, you've been requested to come on for interview, you've done your onboarding and all that. So it wants to state what you are being employed to do. So this is important. This is key. So because what is an offer letter for a job if that job title or position is not stated? So it's important that you have that. That's the second thing. Proposed resumption date should also be stated. When you would be resuming the duty should also be put on the offer letter. The work timing, the work timing or schedule should also be stated if you are going to, because this is actually important. You see a lot of people get into an organization or employment, because they do not have an offer letter, and the organization just, or the boss just tell them, okay, you will resume at 7. What time do I close? It's not clearly stated. This is not how to do things. This is wrong. This is against international labor law. You have to have a concrete arrangement to when you should resume, when you should go on break, when you should, and how your work schedule should be. This is important because even though you're working for an organization, you still have your life to live. So there should be that working time frame well stated in your offer letter. So a lot of people just say, okay, just come and resume. No, that's not how things are meant to be. Very important. So your work schedule should be stated. Another thing, which is number 4 or 5, that should be on your offer letter, should be the hours per week when you are supposed to work. Is it a full-time job? Is it a part-time job? This should be stated. This is important. This is applicable basically for jobs outside the country of Nigeria. It should be stated if you have a 40-hour job in a week or a 20-hour job or whatsoever. So, but for Nigeria, these are not hours. So they would rather say if it is a full-time or a part-time job. This is also very important. It should also be stated the contract type. Is it a permanent job? Is it a contract that will last for, or a temporary job? It should also be stated if the contract is only lasting for 6 months, for 3 months, for 12 months, for 1 year or thereabout, or it's a permanent job. This should be stated. One of those other things that you should have on your employment letter or offer letter should be your job responsibility stroke role. It might not actually be detailed, but you should have that also stated in your offer letter. Basic salary, bonuses, and commission should also be well stated and be well put in your offer letter. That this person is to work this time, from this time to this time, and this is the basic salary. This is important. You see a lot of people, they tell you just come and start. I've actually read a lot where people will say, okay, I started the work, first month I was paid 20,000 naira, another month I was paid this amount, another month I was, so you need to have your offer letter stating what your basic salary is, what you should expect in terms of bonus, what you should expect in terms of commission. This is important. There are a lot of modern day slavery where a lot of people just do things because they are more privileged than the others. So if you have actually gone through school, that is what school should do for you. So your offer letter should clearly state what you should earn at the end of the month. This is important. Your offer letter should also talk about your leave policy, your leave policy, paid and unpaid hour and all that. If normally, if you work within a year, you should have a leave that, depending on the countries, and for most countries, the minimum you should have should be about 30 working days, depending on your level. And so if you have 30 working days, if you have 3 weeks leave in a year, if you have 6 weeks leave in a year, it should be well stated. You should not just resume a duty just to resume. when are you supposed to take out break so that you can have a normal work balance, so that you can, relax at some point within the year. So it's actually important that your offer letter states what kind of leave you can go for, you know your annual leave and all that, maybe your sick leave or something like that. So this is actually important. Probation clause and policy. There are some organization, that will say, okay, your first 6 months on this job, you will be on probation. So your offer letter should clearly state this, and at what point that probation is going to end. So I understand that if you are in Nigeria and you are in a government setting, the probation period is about 2 years, after which you become a permanent contract. So you need to know this. This is important. It has to be well stated. A lot of people have run into a lot of problems, salary not being paid because, and many lawyer cannot even help their situation because there's no legal binding between themselves and their employer. So you want to try and tighten all this before you begin to jump to say that you've got a job. So this is important. I just felt this is one of those things we should actually bring on board and discuss this. So if you have been in a situation where you started a job, you've not been given employment letter, you've not been given an offer letter or whatsoever, or just put it down in the comment box. I want to also hear from you, what your experience have been. Please do well to share this video to people. Somebody on your timeline might just need the information in this video. Click on the like button, and I see you in my next video. Thank you.